Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius January 4, 2023. While you can feel undecided or doubting in the first half of the day smooths out as it continues. As well, a short lull can reinvigorate you, connecting you with more authentic inspiration. Venus moves out of your sign and into your value sector today, where it will transit until the 26th. Affections stabilize during this cycle, and, more than usual, you value simple pleasures. You have more concern for your future security and what you'd like to build to achieve long-term comfort goals. Income boosts are possible, although you might spend more on comfort items. Circumstances frame your natural talents nicely. It's a great time to find more pleasure in the world of the five senses, enjoy simple pastimes and entertainment, and take special care of your valuables or prized personal possessions. You are being spotlit yet again. Today's cosmic energy will bring a smile to your face and a flutter to your heart. As mental Mercury, the cosmic messenger planet of the mind and logic, continues to dance backward in your solar first house of identity, your zodiac sign, he will link in a sextile with Neptune in your solar house of communication. This ensures that you will have absolutely incredible discussions with your one and only, especially about reflective matters or plans from the past. Have a heart-to-heart or bring up a matter that means a lot to you where you'd like to see eye to eye. Your words will come across fluidly and beautifully. Be clear and concise. It might be time to set the record straight when Mercury retrograde in your sign sextiles Neptune in Pisces while the Sun in your sign trines the North Node in Taurus. Since both transits will encourage you to be honest, it might be time to let your coworkers know where you stand and what you need to feel secure in your self-expression. These transits could also help you be upfront about the desire to pursue your creativity, an idea, or a passion project. Feel secure with your unique commitments when Venus enters Aquarius later today. In a case of perfect timing, just minutes after Venus joins Saturn in your income sector to get the year off to a lucrative start, the Moon returns to your work sector just as Mars moves into his final 10 days in retrograde motion here. The Moon's friendly aspect to Venus and to the dwarf planet Ceres, all in its early hours here, will bring income, work and career matters together in a way that is just a taste of things to come. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Your emotions may run high, but you still may have trouble catching up with them. Today's transit makes you especially sensitive to criticism, so keep your distance in order to you have perspective on where others may be coming from. A quiet, centering yoga session would be good. Be gentle on yourself, nothing too tough. Ease your way into your emotional center. Use your creativity and innovative thinking to your advantage. On this day, these innate talents will enable you to break down walls and barriers that others, who came before you, were unable to broach. You have much to offer in any group situation. Your concern and compassion comes across as loyalty and dependability to all you encounter throughout the day. Although your shoulders are big enough to comfort the world, remember not to take on too much. Because the Moon won't leave your romantic and creative sector until just after Venus leaves Capricorn today, these playful and romantically charged lunar vibes will dominate the final hours of her mission to give your heart a voice moving forward. This will also create a fairly sudden shift in focus when just minutes after Venus returns to your income sector the Moon will return for its first visit to your work sector for the year. All of a sudden this will see things come alive across the income, work and career fronts. While they will leave within minutes of each other because Venus will leave Capricorn before the Moon leaves your romantic sector, it will be there until the end. Romantically charged lunar vibes will not only be in effect during the planet of love's final hours of her mission to update your heart's desires and expectations for the coming year, but will become more potent towards the end. Our eyes in the sky. Venus enters Aquarius in the evening, allowing us to understand what we desire from a cerebral point of view when it comes to relationships. This transit enables us to take baby steps toward finding what our heart wants as we proceed with caution in romantic matters. The Sun shares a connection with the nodes of destiny, urging us to embrace our confidence, power, passion, and self-esteem as we move through the day. The month starts with Venus entering Aquarius on January 2nd. When the planet of love is in the sign of the water bearer, we can expect a hands-off and aloof approach to expressing our sentiments. Although we want to connect with others, we do so on more of a cerebral level, which involves a meeting of the minds and intellect rather than physical touch. The 6th brings the first full moon of 2023, this one in Cancer, which means that we could undergo an emotional and mental release in the first days of the new year. This is extremely beneficial because we're able to let go of the past and move into a different headspace for the year. This particular full moon can bring up many power struggles and issues from the past, which is why it's a good time to let go of negativity and move forward toward a more positive place. January 12th marks the end of the Mars retrograde that began in Gemini on October 30th, 2022. Now that we've seen situations and relationships from a different perspective, it's up to us to decide how we want to move forward with the information we've gathered. The Mercury retrograde ends on the 18th in Capricorn, allowing us to heal from all the miscommunications and mishaps that we might have experienced with family or when traveling over the holidays. The Sun enters Aquarius on January 20th, just before the new moon in the same sign the next day. Although it's taken a few weeks, we can now begin to see our resolutions for 2023 come to fruition. Uranus in Taurus turns direct on the 22nd, and Venus enters Pisces 4 days later, making the end of the month sweeter than the start as our fantasies and desire for romance peak. In the morning, the Taurus moon squares off with Saturn in Aquarius, perpetuating isolation. We are in a stubborn mood, prepared to dig in our heels and draw out arguments to get our way. Deep down inside, we are probably aware we are making the problem worse by being inflexible. However, we have convinced ourselves that we are sticking to our principles. This heightens contention between ourselves and those in our community who are looking for a progressive solution. Should we resort to temper tantrums, we will wind up regretful of our conduct down the road. After sunup, the Capricorn Sun squares off with Chiron in Aries, stimulating sensitivities. We believe we are not receiving recognition for our hard work or talents. Instead of becoming angry, we feel embarrassed. To maintain a sliver of self-esteem, we can convince ourselves that because we weren't given a break, others shouldn't be either. This logic may be mimicking the voice of an elder figure, perhaps a paternal one who failed to cut us slack in our youth. Try to step back from the immediacy of irritating or frustrating interactions today. Whose voice is in your head? Think of all the healing that you could offer, not only to your inner child, but to those around you, if you chose a different tactic and broke the chain of criticism.